Welcome back to the Limerick Post Show with me, Meghann Scully. I'm delighted now to be joined by Joe Brooks about a brand new Limerick initiative, Lean On Me. Can you tell us, Joe, exactly what is the concept?
Well, the concept is it's a voucher scheme that basically came about because I suppose the genesis of this was that I was living in Limerick and I was commuting over and back to London, and I could see as the COVID crisis was basically coming to the fore, I could see my circumstances changing, my habits changing, and then these observations, which I wasn't actually making consciously, but they were just kind of happening. So, I mean, I'm from my dad was a retailer in Limerick, so I would know very well how close to the wind these people sail, even in good times. It's not most people in retail, small independents, they're making a living. Few do well out of it, but they generally make a living, and it's good living, and it's social, etc. So I could see very quickly, the cafes were reducing their offerings, and next thing they were reducing the number of seats, and next thing you couldn't go in, only in twos, and next thing they were closed. So I was kind of going, all right. I was like, if this is 3 weeks, we're fine. If this is 6 weeks, X, Y, Z may be gone. And if this is 10 weeks, the commercial landscape could be obliterated in Limerick from a local retailer. When I say local, I just mean independent local. People who are, probably front of house themselves, serving, have a relationship with their customers. So I just, I got very concerned about it. And, that was on one hand, and I was kind of going, and I know, I know these people, and, I have about 4 or 5 places I go to all the time. But then we're all over, like, I've got my coffee shop, I've got my barber, I've got my, I go for my pints, etc. I won't be naming anybody, but I'm kind of going, my health should be okay because I'm isolating, and hopefully my family will be okay. But when I come out of this in May, June, or July, and I want to meet my friends and we want to go for that pint, it may not be there. So.
I'm now joined by John Moran, who of course is part of the Lean On Me initiative as well. We obviously just spoke to Joe Brooks. John, I suppose we want to know is how this group came together and how you guys decided, right, let's get this going.
Okay, well, look, this is classic Limerick, right? I mean, it's a small place, everybody knows each other. I had, probably about the time we were thinking about the close down in the middle of March, sent out a tweet that sort of suggested a concept which is very similar to what we've now pulled together. Mm-hmm. And then about a week later, Joe gives me a call. I mean, as I said, it's Limerick, right? Joe's parents used to live up the road from my parents and out towards Patrickswell and Munga, and says, I have this great idea. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you got the same idea as everyone else has, which is brilliant, because it means everybody's looking at the same problem and seeing that there is a solution. And I'm sure a lot of businesses out there are thinking, where is the solution to the problem that we have bills still racking up and we have no cash coming in? So Joe had kind of this idea that we could kind of call on the network of people that have supported Livable Limerick in the past and some new people. And so we started making some phone calls, and he's been calling businesses. I've been calling some people. You've got the grid finance people who've come on board, which is great because they're here up the street in the Crescent as well. So they're in effect a small Limerick business themselves, but they have the systems to look after the money safely. So it's not coming into Livable Limerick, it's going directly to them. And to also kind of distribute it out through their accounting systems to the various businesses. So it's a classic kind of Limerick, as I said, solution. It's a community of Limerick coming together to help each other.
I'm now joined by Shawnee Ryan of eLive to chat more about it. I guess John Moore mentioned more so the technical side of things. Can you tell me how you got involved first of all?
Hi Meghann, how are you doing? So John and Livable Limerick approached eLive, and we were delighted to get involved in this, and he gave me the brief around what the website was supposed to be for, and obviously to help local businesses in this time of need. And we were delighted to get involved in it, and our team worked really hard to get the website up and running. And I think it's probably the fastest we've ever been able to turn around something like this. We worked day and night on it, and what we built is a very, very simple system. It's very easy for businesses who want to get registered on the system to come on, fill in a form, and upload some of their data and their details, and we can get them up and running on the system straight away. And then for the users, it's a very, very simple system. They can go in, they can find their favorite local business, and they can very easily just purchase a voucher on the system.
Super. So it sounds really easy to use. So we'll say, for example, I'll log on, I'll find my favorite, maybe a coffee shop, my favorite bar, my favorite restaurant. And I know there's so many other businesses, and I can put in maybe 10 or 20 euro or maybe whatever I can spare for the week. And as you said, buy that voucher. And then when all this is over and it's all open up again, I can go in and redeem whatever items I want.
Exactly. What you can do is you can go onto the website, and if you want, you can do it as a once-off guest purchase. So you just put in your details and you can make your purchase, or you could save your details if you want to be able to come back at multiple times to be able to purchase from different businesses or a repeat purchase from the same one. And then once that goes through, the site is obviously, it's a very secure site. We have using SSL encryption, and it's PCI compliant. We're using Stripe as our payment gateway, which, as you know, is set up by 2 Limerickmen. So another big plug for Limerick there. And your payments go through, and then those payments will then go to the businesses that are involved. And when this is all over and we start returning to normal, you then go into the businesses that you've supported. They will have details given to them already of who has purchased, but you will also be getting a confirmation of your purchase when you do it through the site. And then they will issue with your voucher, which you can use.
Shawnee Ryan, it's been great to chat to you, and we will hopefully see you soon now around Limerick when it's all back up and running again.
Indeed you will. Thank you, Meghann.